Hello everybody and welcome back to WGLNA Gold League Qualifier number 2. We had Qualifier number 1 last week. We also had 2 teams join us via the major leagues, and that is #RU and Spurg Lords. We'll get to know them a little bit better once group play starts January 2nd. Be prepared. It's going to be a lot of fun, and as we've seen through Season 1 and Season 2, each of these teams is getting better and better and better, and each of these games is getting more and more entertaining. I'm Joshua Clutchgrade, joined in the set by Randall Rukel-Holcomb. We locking down the rest of this week. We'll have Greetorp join us tomorrow night for his final broadcast from the studio. So make sure to tune in. It will be a heartfelt goodbye, but also a really, really fun broadcast because we're going to find out who's going to be joining us for the last spot in group play. And the next teams that we have is Doge Squad versus the Landing Zone Slayers.
Yeah, Doge Squad, Reddit team. We've talked about them before, the Landing Zone Slayers. We've seen them numerous times before. I think we saw them in Qualifier 1 and 2 for, I should say Season 1 Qualifier and Season 2 Qualifiers. Really just coming back every time, trying their hardest. They're looking better and better every time. I really like to see that kind of improvement out of teams.
Is it a type of team that you think could defeat the Googly Boppers?
I don't know, man. Googly Boppers are pretty hardcore.
Clearly, by their name. I'm going to call them Team GB for short, but that's another team we'll get to know a little more of as well when the group play starts. So 3 teams so far joining us for the first time. 1 more is going to be joining us after the qualifiers is over. Landing Zone Slayers, I don't think I've seen these guys yet, at least in a broadcast for...
Not for this season, at least. You saw them last season. I know at least you saw them then. They didn't look as strong. They really didn't look that strong last time. They've been doing a lot better this time. They've actually been making the distance, getting farther into the bracket than last time. It's very good. It's refreshing to see.
First map, I believe, is going to be on Mines, just waiting to make sure that all the players and the team captains are ready, along with our admin. A big shout out to our admin, Civ, as well as Tom Garcia, who's the account manager who makes all of this possible. And they are very, very active with talking to the players and making sure everyone's on the same page. Randall and I try to do the best we can on that front, but frankly, we don't have time because you and I write segments and have to play the game, and we're here. So it takes a team to make this work, and we have a great production team here. Also to our production guys in the back. Let's go ahead and jump into battle number 1 for match number 2. Doge versus Landing Zone Slayers. The map's going to be on Mines.
Taking a look at these tanks, we will have a T-32 Pershing and 3 1390s for the side of the Landing Zone Slayers. On the other side, Doge will have a 5100, 2 T-32s, and 2 1390s, but looks like they're going to be missing a T1 Cunningham.
That is unfortunate, but in case someone is not able to show up to the match, they can play with 41 tier points, a man down. I believe the max is 5 people with no T1s on the field. But we've seen teams without a man win. Yeah, we saw that in the qualifiers last season.
And we actually, I believe we even saw, I don't think they won in the end, but they took some battles at least. Yesterday or the day before, we saw a team with 1 T1 down. Taitu in the opening run will head up to the hill, and he will be met by Tech9 and Conic Rasnake. He's going to actually block. Wonderful play by Taitu. This is what needs to happen, and they will keep these 1390s from getting any kind of hill control. And there, shots fired onto Tech9. He goes down to 607.
Big hits against him, and he's going to fall back. Doge Squad now losing the HP battle. Mr. Church, let's find out where he's going. Looks like he's going down the 1 line here over to the lighthouse side. Not going to see anything yet except his teammates. The other T1 not present for the Doge Squad, but Tech9 has fallen back to the other side of the hills. The T-32s push up and get a couple hits against Kakujao.
Yeah, he's down to 749 hit points, not in a hold-down position. He was just exposed on his side. But Avicii is able to get a little bit of revenge on one of the T-32s. That is Cod in the T-32. Also, Happy Kilmore is going to take some hits, exposing himself a little bit too much. And Lord Braley looks to be the one to take him down.
The price is wrong, Bobby, as Happy Kilmore falls. Warlock, 26 in the T-32, has 1 shell bounce off his gun mantlet. He's going to stay in that position. Happy Kilmore got a little bit too excited on the top of that mountain, and they were able to shut him down here. T-32 still spotted. Avicii behind the rock formation as Karkajau in the Pershing has fallen back even further, still at 797 HP at a 1440.
I think Karkajau might have, I'm trying to think of what he's doing out there, and I think I know the answer. He was actually trying to go to a hold-down position slightly farther to his west. And in that hold-down position just here, I'm showing you guys, he can actually be very effective. Unfortunately, because he couldn't get there, it cost him way too much, and he had to back off to a rock, which is a really inferior position. Although he does have great fire towards the west, which I think he may have just put a shot out on Tech 9, and he may punish him even further. Lines up a shot. Oh, and a connection from a T-32, actually, not from the Pershing. Actually, and now Warshock takes down Aegis in the west.
Tech 9 is able to still push further to the south, along with Konig Rasnak. Rasnaki. I'm going to call him Konig for short. It's a long name. As Warshock 26 and Khan in the T-32 is trying to hold the line here. 1390 is spotted, but Karkajow on the Pershing is going to have to make a decision. Focus on Tech 9 and Konig, excuse me, or focus on COD and Warshock at the bottom of the mountain, bottom of the hill, and Avicii in the T-32 is going to be exposed as Konig and Tech 9 are pushing up from west to east.
With this kind of flank, I fully expect to see the T-32s join the fight, and I think they will. Now shots into the back of these T-32 and Pershing. Tech 9 actually backs off. All right, he's not going to go for it quite yet, waiting for those T-32s.
Beautiful hit from Konig. Karkajow takes 2 huge hits in that Pershing, and he's going to fall back. Avicii, the T-32, gets in front of him to try to block. Tech 9 and Konig did the damage necessary, allowing Warshock to push up in his T-32 for the surround, as COD is going to take the high ground. Beautiful shot from Warshock around the corner. T-32 still left alive for Avicii. And COD is coming up from above. Does he have the gun depression necessary? No, he's going to focus on Taitu in the 1390. Great target acquisition coming out of Doge Squad. Is he going to go for the Gomba? He goes for the ram from up top. Avicii takes a big hit. He's going to get shot up, but COD takes a couple hits on his side. Maybe a little bit too early for him to jump into that engagement. He falls.
That is a huge loss, and that could be a point where we see a comeback. Warshock is taking hits now, and it looks like Avicii is focusing on Lord Brayley, who is in a 5100 flanking. No, and now a 1390 Samisa is down. Not a lot of hope left. Avicii returns fire on Lord Brayley, but Lord Brayley bounces a shot on the back of a T-32, but reinforcements are on the way. 1390s just closing the distance along with Warshock and the T-32. Bounces all around, actually. Avicii, T-32 armor is so strong.
It is. No cons is what Avicii yells as he finally goes down to Tech 9. Battle number 1 is going to go to Doge Squad, who's still one man down. But that play of Tech 9 and Konig moving all the way to the south, Tech 9 did take a hit going that way, but it was worth it because they put that pressure on the T-32, allowing the other T-32s to move into a better area. COD got up on top of the mines, was able to shoot down to the 1390 behind the building. Just they were trading shots left and right. COD got a little bit too arrogant there, I think, jumping up from the mines, but his team was able to move in and get this round kill.
Yeah, I think the game was probably over by that point. He just said, "I can do this. We can go in." His death only delayed the inevitable, and the 5100 getting shots on a 1390. That was very early in the game. That was Lord Brayley. Lord Brayley in the 5100 sitting far back was able to cover the hill. That's just great crossfires right there, defending your battle buddies, and a well-constructed strategy. Just playing to the west, playing to the hill, you respect the hill, but you also need to make other things happen, even if you can't get hill control.
That's right. Well, that hill control went to those 1390s at the beginning of the game, but unfortunately, Happy Kilmore was way too exposed when he was trying to get those kills and got shut down. And once you lose the high ground, it's over. I mean, Obi-Wan said it. That's probably the only good thing about Episode 3 of Star Wars. It's over, Anakin, I have the high ground.
The book was pretty good.
The novelization of it?
Yeah, the novelization actually has a more complete story. There's some really good writing in there.
Well, the novelization was better when Darth Sidious was explaining to Anakin of his master that he killed. What was his name? Darth Plagueis. Was like he could create life, or he even had the power to stop life.
There's a lot of comic book redos, a lot of stuff. I actually got really confused recently on a lot of Star Wars stuff because I think they've done some reboots in the comic books.
Yeah, we'll find out. I threw in my headshot and resume audition for the Star Wars film, so let's see how that goes.
Good luck, Clutch.
Yeah. Tweet Star Wars guys now. So next map's going to be Himmelsdorf, and we saw the hill play happen pretty decisively for Bomb Squad at the beginning, but it actually turned around for Victoria's Secret because of the T1s. So if either of these teams are watching those matches, they're going to think, don't count out the T1s on this map, guys, because they could still win it out by
never count the T1s out. If any team does that, that's just asking to lose. Your T1s are so important. Their vision, their cap points, sometimes, on occasion, they kill 5100s, 1390s. They could kill Waffentrager very easily.
Waffentrager. Stay tuned for some of those segments. Looking forward to it. I had a lot of fun playing that game. We're going to have a lot of fun watching these guys play some more of the tanks. Battle number 2 on Himmelsdorf. Doge Squad versus Landing Zone Slayers.
Taking a look at these tanks, we have IS-15 on the side of Landing Zone Slayers. Every tank is an IS-3. And on the other side, we will only have 3 IS-3s and 2 5100s from the side of Doge.
Doge Squad is up 1-0. And this IS-3 play, I don't know, from Landing Zone Slayers, they're not going to have the burst damage without those 5100s. They will have the Alpha Strikes. They will get there with better armor, but those 5100s can get some great
They've also got a health pool, a little bit of a health pool.
That's
on
true.
1,500 hit points for an IS-3, man.
That's true. I mean, 1,400 for a 5100, but it trades out better for the 5100 because the amount of damage it can deal out between the shots fired of a single IS-3.
Yeah, but if you make the alpha work in the IS-15, you can eliminate a tank immediately.
That's true.
With room for error.
That's true.
You even have room for error, and if you can make that happen, you're great. But if your 5100s are able to cut off any IS-3s, if you can get that to happen, you're good to go. That's ideal. But Tech 9 is spotted in the T1. Tai2 and Avicii will have shots as they round the corner. First shot into Tech 9. Tai2 does not go for it. He misses.
It's a miss! Tech 9!
It's okay. Happy Kilmore's got it.
He held his breath for a bit, but he does fall. And here's a push of the IS-3. It's a parade down the Himmelsdorf downtown section towards the church. And this is going to be a defensive play for the Doge Squad as fast as possible to try to stop this.
Will they be able to stop this? Avicii stops at the corner. Happy Kilmore stops. Tai2 will also, they want to keep going, but they're hesitating here. Cod is spotted, and they line up shots. Cod down to 669 in the first volley, but Lord Braley is maybe going to show up. Might get shots. Yes, he gets shots onto Karkaju. Karkaju now getting focused down. He's the widest, down to 567, 266, and he will go down. First IS-3 is eliminated.
Mr. Church is the one to fall. Braley and Koenig now going into battle buddy mode as Koenig tries to support Lord Braley by getting in front of him. Avicii takes a shot from Warshock, and the other 5100 takes a hit, Mr. Church. But Sammy is 49 hit points away from falling. And the push is still in favor of the blue team. Well, not anymore. Now it's a trade out.
Just as you say that, Clutch, they're able to get that kill. T1s are trying to move in. Samisa's in an interesting position. He's going to be able to live for just a little bit longer, but Koenig may, yes, he will line up the shot and get the kill. Now only Tai2 and Happy Kilmore remain. They do not have the DPM to deal with this. Koenig is at full health, and 5100 should be reloading shortly to join the fight and clean this up.
Koenig focuses on Happy Kilmore for this shot ringing true, down to 759 hit points. T1 moves in to try to get the flag cap, but here comes the parade of 5100s, taking their time, though, to get around the corner as Koenig's trying to hold off both these IS-3s. Another shot and a miss from Happy Kilmore. Koenig is now up against Tai2. Tai2's rear is exposed to the 5100s, and Koenig is trying to buy that time necessary. They're going to have to be quick, though. The 5100s finally move in for the approach. The IS-3 around the corner is Happy Kilmore. Koenig, Snake takes him down. A beautiful shot from the IS-3 covering Lord Braley. Now Lord Braley goes for the ram kill against the T1s. Now it's only Tai2 versus 3 of the Tier 8s. It's going to be a fast cleanup for the Doge Squad, and they're going to be one battle away from moving on into the next semifinals for the qualifiers. Doge Squad takes it 2-0.
Really solid defense there with 5100s. You push in with IS-3s like that, you have to get that alpha. You have to get that one tank down in the first volley. They didn't get it, and then they walked into a crossfire. Doge Squad expertly returning to the base to get that crossfire.
Koenig holding the line for a long time. Those 5100s, I don't know if they were reloading or not. Probably not, because it would have taken longer time for them, but they went around the long way to get behind those IS-3s.
They got all their shots off really early.
Yeah.
They just nuked an IS-3, and then they reduced another IS-3 to pretty much a ram from another one. So with that, they were out of the fight for a little bit, and you saw a bit of a comeback. You know, Bomb Squad was able to try and get some momentum going, but they couldn't get enough connections. You just can't. Not when you've already lost an entire IS-3 that early in the fight.
Yeah. Do you think they were on drum 2 or drum 3 when they were moving into that?
Drum 2.
Drum 2? Okay.
Look at the post. What's the post say?
Well, Lord Braley, he was on 9 for 11, so it had to be drum 2.
Yeah.
The rest, let's see, Mr. Church, 7 for 7, so he was on drum 2 as well.
Yeah.
So with 2 drums, they were able to do a lot of damage. 1771 for Mr. Church, and for Lord Braley, 2,045. But Connie Rattlesnake, I want to see how much potential damage he received. 2,130. Hits received, 20. 16 of those non-penetrating. I don't think
No, there's some T1s
could have been
in
some
there.
T1 shots in there.
It's got to be.
But still, he was able to hold out
Yeah.
against those 2 IS3s for enough time for his 5100 teammates to come and help him. Nice play by Koenig. And now the Doge squad is one battle away from taking this series and moving on to the semifinals. As a reminder, we'll be live tomorrow again at 5 o'clock for the semifinals and the finals. We will crown a victor of qualifier number 2, and we will then know the 16 teams that will be joining us for the WGLNA Gold League Season 3. Well, these teams will be competing for $100,000 in prize money. Fulcrum Gaming has won the last 2 seasons. They have taken home as a team $100,000 total.
And then Simp's also gotten second twice in a row.
So they've taken home $50,000 total.
Not bad.
$25,000 each time. Hey, you know, I'd tell my parents about that. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and jump into battle number 3. The battlefield is going to be on Ents. Doge Squad versus the Landing Zone Slayers.
Taking a look at these tanks, we have an AMX 5100 and 4 IS3s for the side of the Landing Zone Slayers. For the Doge squad, we've got 2 5100s and 3 IS3s. So I guess they're going to step away from that IS-15 strat.
Well, it didn't prove to be as fruitful as they wanted to be. However, it was a good try. Those IS3s got shut down pretty fast by the 5100s. And now they're going to try to do something differently here. Doge squad can decide to play defensive, but that's not really their cup of tea, at least what we've seen so far. They have been outplaying their opponent and have been getting some good scouting necessary just on their 1T1 alone. And this could be another instance where a team that is down a man proves to be the victor against a full roster 7-man team. And they're going to meet out with the aggression here. Warshock on the IS3 is going to turn the corner. He's going to see the 2 IS3s turning their corner here, and they're going to wait.
Now, Mr. Church was spotted. He's not going to be reloaded for another few seconds, although if these IS3s stop where they are, they're just going to take hits. IS3s, Koenig, and Warshock are able to put fire onto Samisa, but only taking down to 1050. As more shots are traded, but I'm not seeing a lot of connections. COD takes a little damage, and now the IS3s push forward.
Now they're pushing across that alleyway, and it's going to be 4-on-3. Mr. Church is going to have to move in fast, but he may be covered on the other side. Happy Kilmore takes a shot to the front. They focus on COD. Couple shots bounce on either side. Happy Kilmore down to 331. He's going to back out. You know, the rest of the higher HP tanks. Happy Kilmore down to 55. Taking a shot from the other side. Lord Braley gets the kill. Warshock still in another shot. And COD takes down Samisa. Tai 2 falling back in his IS-3. Karkajau is not taking any hits yet. Mr. Church is about to go down to Avicii in the 5100. He falls. COD pushes in, knowing, how dare you kill my friend. And Warshock is going to be right behind him. Tai 2 is close enough to stay in the fight here, but another shot coming out from Lord Braley in the 5100. It looks like he may be reloading or backing off here as COD and Koenig Snake move in. Koenig at higher HP needs to get in front of COD, but it's a little bit too late. Going for the last shot against Tai2. Is he able to land it? He does. He gets the kill, and it looks like COD bounces a shot off Karkajau. Avicii, the 5100, takes a huge hit from Warshock 26, and now it's only 2 Tier 8s left alive. 1 Tier 8 left alive. Karkajau in the IS-3.
Oh, and he bounces on COD. Now he's just going to get focused down, shots down, take him down to 401. Karkajau may have one last shot in him, but he's down to 60, and COD may have the shot. He should, unless he is ammo wrecked. Now, a shot from Warshock will take him down.
And now it's just 2 T1s to the north. Lord Braley gets a shot on one and the kill. T1 try to do some damage. Lord Braley cleans it up, and that does it. Doge Squad is able to finish the series 3-0 against the Landing Zone Slayers. They were down a man, a 41-42 tier point victory for the Doge Squad.
I think it really came down to bounces on that corner. It looked like a 3v2, a 4v3.
3v4, yeah.
Yeah, really uneven in favor of the Landing Zone Slayers, but because of bounces, they just weren't able to do it. I actually want to take a look at the post game. We have to see where these bounces happen, how many actually happened. Koenig was 8 for 8, so he didn't bounce a single thing. Warshock 7 for 7, not a single bounce, and only 2 bounces out of COD. So really solid performance right there. Only 2 of a whole lot of hits. But IS3's Tai2, 5 for 3. We got 6 for 8, and from Happy Kilmore, he only got 2 shots off before going down. Oh, Samisa didn't actually get any damage out in his IS-3. That's what happened right there. Samisa became ineffective entirely in that fight.
Samisa became submissive to the battle, really, of that damage being outpoured towards him. I want to take a look one more time at COD's potential damage received, 4,200. He was the shell catcher for his team.
There's the shots that bounce right there. If they'd been able to kill COD, they could have taken that advantage, pushed around the corner, and very easily won that. That's where bounces cannot happen. You're playing corner games, that happens all the time in pubs. You should really be able to do that consistently if you want to play on a pro level.
You got to watch some of those Greetorp tank tactics. Some of the ruse clues that people need to watch in order to understand better the fundamentals of how well the tanks works and how bouncing shots can lead to really, really bad engagement. So that does it for our second game, folks. Doge Squad moves on. We want to wish the Landing Zone Slayers a fond farewell and best of luck next time in the qualifiers, and make sure to sign up for the Open League. We're going to take our halftime break right now so we can pretty much gather up the rest of our matches for tonight and make sure the players are ready. So stay tuned. More World of Takes action will continue in just a little bit.